let's start off our day with something wonderful. Or how about hear a story about someone being marvelous? Let's make today wonderless. This is the show that gives you a daily dose of happy, uplifting, feel-good stories from around the world. Welcome to another episode of Wonderlous News. I'm Hoyt Christopher. Let's get right to it. So our first segment is baking helped Janie Deegan as she recovered from addiction. So check this out. The name of her bakery is called Janie's Life-Changing Baked Goods. Okay, now the bakery is known for its pie crust cookies, which sounds incredible. But really the most interesting part about this segment is that Janie's bakery changed her life. She was an addict and she was homeless at one point. She was going through recovery. And what she realized was that she felt best and more in control of her life when she was baking. It was almost like therapy for her, she said. So she started messing around with a couple cookies. Her friends were like, you need to start a bakery. You need to start making your own and selling these. Well, another friend said, look, why don't you bake a cake for my event? So she did. And she says, looking back on it, it's not that good of a cake, but it got her started. So she jumped all in and she got her first bakery, opened up her first bakery, Janie's Life-Changing Baked Goods, on the Upper West Side of Manhattan in New York City. So, wow, that's big. And she loves it. She is baking away. But what becomes even more interesting as she's used the bakery and baking to, in some ways help recover from addiction, is she decided that she didn't want other people to have those same thoughts and feelings that she had when she was frustrated trying to get a job, trying to find a place where she had meaning and purpose. And she knows that those that are addicts or even those that have been imprisoned and get out, it's really difficult for them to get a job, right? Those references come up and a lot of employers don't want that responsibility. So she said, you know what? I'm going to have an open door policy, which means if you've been to jail, I don't care. You come in, when I meet you on interview day, if that energy and that person I like and I think is good for this job, then you've got a job here, right? So resume doesn't matter. Experience doesn't matter. What's happened to you in the past doesn't matter. But you do have to come to that interview and you have to be the person or be the type of person really that Janie's looking for to have a position in the bakery, which is incredible that she's giving that sort of time. Now she has 2 bakeries and she's opening up a third. She also mentioned that a lot of the workers don't come from experience in baking, but that's okay. They teach them how to do it anyways. So I love this story. I think it's really important that everyone has a second chance and sometimes it's a third chance. I do believe that we all have the ability to change and become better people for ourselves and our community. So what she's doing is incredibly giving. On top of that, I actually like baking too. I used to have a little candy company and I found it to be therapeutic as well. Maybe it's because I'm focusing on that instead of whatever else is going on in my crazy head. So excellent segment. I love that. Let's look at the next one. New regeneration therapy reverses hearing loss. Wow. Hey, Dad, you could use this if you're listening. You might be too old to reverse it. My dad's had very little success with hearing. At least he says so. My mom is always like, you can't hear me? He goes, no, I can't hear you. I think it might be a choice or was a choice. Now it's age. So, instead of using hearing aids or implants, Frequency Therapeutics, which is the company, aim to reverse hearing loss by using basically stem cells, right? So using regenerative cells, they call them progenitor cells, and they're kind of like stem cells. And you put them in the inner ear, and it generates hair cells in human ears in the utero. Utero. I'm going to butcher a couple words on this podcast, just so you know. So anyways, Frequency Therapeutics, they designed this drug to be injected into the ear, and it regenerates these cells and allows that individual to start hearing, which is incredible. So they said, look, I wouldn't be surprised in 10 to 15 years if this is something that's more common and used and could at some point reverse hearing loss. Wow, Dad. I mean, for me too. My wife, if she's listening, I find that I think it's hereditary what I got from my dad, and I struggle with hearing everything my wife says. So I might be a candidate for this in the next 5 years if it's ready. Jeff Karp, who's a Harvard MIT Health Science and Technology affiliate and faculty member, said, look, I think we'll see the same thing for hearing loss to have this restored just like they do for vision, right? So those that go to get LASIK surgery to reverse their sight loss or lack of, same thing for hearing. So we'll see. Now it's time for a Wonderlous moment of the day. I love this. I love this moment. Brought to you, of course, by, if you've heard the show, Shaman, right? Shaman? Is it Shaman? No, it's Rise by Shaman Angelina. She has an amazing site on Etsy where you can purchase her handmade coastal jewelry. She's incredible. Her stuff is very unique. Every piece, by the way, she wanted me to mention is one of a kind. Okay. The address is in the description of the show, so go ahead and check that out. And our moment today is going to be a video of a kite flying with some cool music in the background. So check this out. Wow. I haven't flown a kite in a while, and I have kids. They need to fly kites. We just moved down to the beach. There's a little bit more open space down where we are now. So probably once the weather is a little bit nicer, we'll start doing kites. I love kites. I love kite flying. It was something that my dad and I did a lot, and then my friends would do as well. I remember going to Tahoe and flying kites. I love it. So it's something really cool, and to watch it float and soar in the wind. Great little segment. Thank you, Rise by Shaman Angelina. Check out her stuff. Again, the address to her site on Etsy is in the description of the show. So check that out. All right. So now we've got is next segment. Want to live longer? Eating this odd fruit may help. You got to check out this fruit. If you go into the description, there's a link to this story. Click on it, and the fruit, it looks like a prickly cucumber, right? It actually looks like something you would see on like a sci-fi movie. It literally is a long shaped like cucumber fruit. It's real bitter apparently, and it's from Okinawa. And it is called, where is it? It is, where is this fruit? I hate that. Where'd it go? Goya. There it is. Also known, so they call it the Okinawan villagers call it the Goya. So Goya. It's a bitter melon. It's a distant cousin of the cantaloupe or honeydew, but it's really bitter. So they said not everyone likes it, but apparently it can really help you live longer. And it's packed with vitamins and different components that really make it incredibly healthy for you. What this says, let's see, it says there's, where is it? The extended lifespans can be explained. Oh, okay. So the inhabitants of this island, Okinawa in Japan, is this part of Japan. They live for a really long time, and a lot of it's because they use this fruit and other soy and vegetable products. So real healthy villagers eating this bitter lemon. Look, I think we're all trying to live a little longer and stay healthier. It's been a trend for many decades, but it's becoming more and more popular. So, I don't know. I guess if you see this at the store, go ahead and check it out, buy it, and tell me what you think. Because I might wait until my wife brings it home one day. All right, look, so as we always do, the Wonderless thought, which could be one of your stories that we would have over here as well, that could have replaced maybe Wonderless fruit, the Goya fruit that we were just talking about. But let's talk about real quick. My Wonderless thought of the day is going to be about living longer, right? So I know that for me personally, I am now 51 years old and I have 3 kids, as I've mentioned, and they're 7 and under. So I started late. I don't have time to get old too quick. I don't have time or the luxury of slowing down and having really some health issues that could be really detrimental to me and enjoying my life with my kids and my wife and my family. So for me, I've been on a new kick as well. Now I'm not eating that Goya fruit, but I'm definitely taking a lot of different vitamins that my wife gives me. I'm drinking really great like warm water and lemon in the morning to help flush the system out, higher proteins, trying to stay away from carbohydrates. I have a sugar problem. I'm just going to be very honest. I do like candy. I tend to have candy at night. It's not good for me at all, but I do have a little bit of it, but I try to really cut down on a lot of the breads and rices and everything else. What I found too in the last week or so, my wife is taking this class and she's now not drinking. And she's like, you can drink if you want. You can have a glass of wine. I'm like, no, let's not have wine. So I'm not drinking right now either. So cutting that out, I found that actually I was craving more sugar. Crazy. But of course, in alcohol, there is sugars. So that makes sense. The point of this is really, I think there's something about eating right, eating better than normal or often, and then exercising as frequently as possible. For me, it's 5 to 6 days a week. And by doing this, I do find that I feel better, I look better, and I have more energy. And with the 3 kids that I mentioned, that's incredibly important. If we can all spend a few more minutes every day to get some exercise, to get outside, to take a walk, to start a routine, if you will, that maybe takes only 15 minutes a day, maybe some push-ups, pull-ups, dips, some lunges, something that's calisthenic, something that gets your body moving, I think we're all going to benefit from it. I don't cut out everything all the time. I have like what I would call a cheat meal here and there, but I think it's important to try to do that. And for all of us to try to go a little bit further with being healthy. So get out there, get a little exercise, eat a little bit healthier when you can, and tell me what you think, because I do feel a lot better. Well, look, if you have a positive, feel-good, uplifting story that you want to share here, please do. The email address is there on the screen. You can send me your story. You can mention your name, photos, video, the whole deal. Let me know. We'll read it on the show, and we can mention you or not. It's up to you. In the meantime, thanks again for watching and listening. I'm Hoyt Christopher, and thank you for watching Wonderless News one more time. See you tomorrow.